Give me just a second here. As I pop this video where it needs to exist. Those brushes down. Put those brushes down for a second. Weird, it's giving me new options. Why is Facebook always changing the interface here? So weird. Okay. It's like they always roll stuff out to my page that makes no sense. Wham. Alright. Let me know if anything is wrong in terms of sound, whatever. And yeah, we're good to go. So, oh, just kidding. Let me plug my phone in. She's on 2% cotton. I don't know what that was, but we'll just pretend like it was normal. I'm gonna unplug the airbrush. Plug in the phone. Oh man, it is cold today. It was officially the first cold day of the year, I would say. Alright, so we are working today, of course, on Pipe Gal Patty. We were working on her previously. As you can see, some more work has been completed here. We were working on, or at least I was working on the face, so I'm very pleased with her face right now. We've got the hair. The back of the dress is pretty much complete, the pink portion. So now it's going to be a question of mimicking that pink on the front folds. The front has a little bit more texture to it. The metal is a little bit more pebbled, so to speak. But it shouldn't be too much of an issue as I go through and clean that out. Let me bump this brightness up one for you guys. Looking at your feed, it looks a little bit darker, so I'm gonna bump that color. But, so if we're gonna be working on the pink, we'll go ahead and get some out on the palette. I do recall the colors that I was using previously, so we'll go ahead and get those out. All kinds of tones here we're going into the dress. Which is good and bad, obviously. Alright, so those are pretty much the colors that I was using. Can I mess with this without... Ah, there's the answer. Can I cross my leg without ruining something? Well, almost. Alright, are we ready to go? I think we're ready to go here. I think we got this. Did I shift the focal point? I feel like I did. Whoops. Okay. So let's have some fun, shall we? Now then, if I'm copying the back, what I need... I think I'm gonna go in first with this Breast Cancer Awareness Promo Pink. Again, you get this with any order currently at reapermini.com. It's a good utility pink though, very, very bright. Sorry, I'm adjusting my headphones so I can actually hear the music. Okay, so let's carefully get to it. So I'll probably split this. I was supposed to record another episode of the Paintcast. Episode 2 came out earlier today. And I was supposed to record earlier, but unfortunately Discord was really giving us a hard time, so we couldn't record what we needed to. So now I'm gonna get that middle pink. Sort of connect between those two colors. It's so strange that the front of the dress is so much different compared to the, like, in terms of difficulty, compared to the back. It's like night and day, insane, the level of difficulty. It's so weird how that happens sometimes on sculpts, but that's definitely the case here, at least when I'm running into. It's like slamming my head against a wall. I can't figure it out. So what I'm gonna do is start adding in more of that red. Actually, I think the red's probably gonna help tie it together, if I had to guess. Yeah. So we'll get more of that rocking in. I feel like this red is a reject from the new, because this is of course a sample color. I feel like this is a reject from the Pathfinder colors, for whatever reason. I feel like that's the suspicion. Hey Brian, hey Christian. See, maybe do a little bit more on the bottom here. Just have it be a little bit more visible like that. Because on the back we did such a good job of varying our hues. So really what it is just me needing to go back in, because I feel like I went too bright too fast on the front, which is probably why we're experiencing the symptoms that we are compared to the back. Which shouldn't be a big deal. Obviously it's not going to be. We're working our way towards it. So then I need way more of that, okay? Just more standard-y purpley pink, like this one, like so. Yep. All right, we're getting there. We're actually doing it. I was worried for about 2 seconds that we weren't going to be able to repeat those colors across, but I'm pretty sure we will without too much issue. Now then, the other questionable color here was this sort of there we go. That'll probably be the color that we're aiming for. Sort of purplier pink shift that's in some of the shadows. I definitely want to try and hit, like right about there would be a good spot for it. Okay. Then, let's see, so, okay. Because I definitely do want to do the same type of middle dull down as we have in the back, so I'm going to do that with that purple, most likely. And then we'll hit it with the airbrush to smooth it, but, okay. So I've got quite a bit of this color. Now, what color am I missing? Oh, this one. This is the color we weren't using. Okay. That helps out quite a bit. Because I was wondering, I'm like, where's that? Like, because I remember we had sort of used a flesh tone, but sort of not. Let's see. So I'm just going to grab some of these other pinks. Here we go. And then we had this in the corner as a part of the highlight. Yep, there we go. All right, we're finally matching hues. Oh my gosh. It only took this long to actually get the hues to start matching. All right, we're cool, we're cool. Be alright. So, let's see. Telemarketer. You know it's bad when you know what button to push to get a telemarketer off the line. Now, I'm confused as to what's happening. I guess we'll just let that live there. I just had to go and make it difficult. Now see, what's making this difficult for me at least is the switch in shape of the fold. The front is concave where the back is rounded. So it's not making my life easy here. But we'll try and... I don't know, this is... We're having issues. Alright. Of course I unplugged the airbrush 2 seconds ago. Throw some thinner. Okay. So if I'm mimicking the back, same thing in the front. Lost a headphone. I think that's right though, right? Yeah. And then it's just way richer there on the right and left. So I think what I may do is we'll experiment around here a little bit. Not hurting anybody. Okay, now we're getting to where I want it. Because it's a concave shape, so it's a different reflective pattern. So I think this is about right. Okay. I can live with it. Okay. I'm just adding that redder tone in there. Just as a variation. Add a little bit of color there before we do any detail picking on the feathers. Alright, cool. I hope everybody's having a good day today. We don't have very many people watching. Oh well. No big deal. Christian, that's different every single time. So it literally depends on the color, it depends on the effect that I'm going for. Like, it's never the same, ever. So there's no good answer for that question. Sadly. But yeah, it's literally different every single time. So. So now you'll see what I'm doing is I'm trying to create sort of a sheen, as if we're dealing with a semi-reflective fabric here. I think what's making this difficult right here too is the where the light's hitting these folds. I don't know. Not to discourage anybody from trying to paint this gal, right? But it's just whatever this shape is, man. It is like breaking my brain. I do not understand what's going on. So weird. My brain just doesn't get it. For whatever reason. Actually, that helped a lot. So I got way more of like a bubblegum pink. Okay, so I'm really not happy with the way that looks, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. I don't know why. I don't know why that shape is the bane of my existence, but I just think it looks terrible, so oh well. Oh well. Hey Kathy, how's it going? Alright. Whoa, hey. Dropping things. Okay, so let's go back up here and correct all the stuff that we lost on this top part when we were doing the skin. The skin's not done yet either, but it is relatively close to where I want it to be. Just have to do the, you know, the big old buzzies. So I'm just sort of roughly shading relatively quickly these areas to get them to match the overall palette that we have now. Shouldn't be too difficult though. I say that, of course, as I can't get it anywhere near where it needs to be, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna survive. We're gonna make it to another day here. It's all good. But that should get us in the relative neighborhood of the colors that we need. Alright, so what else can we mess with for a while to take a break off this pank, huh? So I'm thinking that we do a crazy, like, we're doing this. Well, I think it's because I'm trying to replicate the same kind of effect as there is on the back, but it's sculpted. One's concave and the other one is nice and round. And so the folds, like I in my head, I want them to do what they like physically wouldn't do, if that makes sense. Just as a part of the sculpt in general, they wouldn't operate the way that I'm sort of in my brain wanting them to. In my brain and head at the same time, my bread. We're gonna have fun with this color here, though. Obviously, a good color to use if you're using any kind of purple is green, as with red. Since we're dealing with reds, pinks, and purples, then green is going to be extra perfect for us. But we're gonna end up using a clear paint on top of that color, so it's gonna look crazy. Paint, of course, is going on really, really wet. Just so I can make sure I'm keeping it smooth. Because all those folds, it's going to be crucial to keep them looking nice. I mean, I say that. And by the end of it, they probably won't be smooth at all, but, you know, whatever. Whatever. So this is kind of like a minty green. Sort of. After we apply the phthalo, it will definitely look like crazy glowing in some fashion. But we'll work it down until it looks like a real fabric and not just some crazy, unrealistic effect. That would be the plan, at least. You know, you never know. But we're almost there. Just moving the paint around, keeping an even surface tension. Last coat over here. I want it to be 100% opaque by the time we apply the phthalo, because that will only help us out. It looks like we're there. 3 quick coats, 3 quick layers, nothing too crazy. Hey, John. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna use this phthalo green. It's a new clear color. Or at least, I don't know if you can buy it, to be honest with you. It was at ReaperCon, so I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm sure it will be out eventually. If not, sorry. Sorry. But I love the color. It's super fun to work with. It's definitely on the stranger side of greens. So. As you can tell. I mean, look at that color. How crazy is that, right? Anyway, I hope you all are having a good Friday. I hope you've had a good week. If it's been a long week, just know it's almost over. If you get the weekend off, I hope you can enjoy it. If you're working this weekend, don't feel too bad. I'm going to be working too, of course. So, it is what it is. We're not totally dry on that side of the world over there, so I got to be careful. This should hopefully dry just as fast, though. On the other side, so that way, here in a second, we can go back for round 2. Whoops. Alright. So you can see how crazy that color contrast is. Very, very rich. I'm wondering where... Aha. So now I'm going to take phthalo blue. Oh, John, if you're... Oh, John's not watching anymore. Okay. I was going to say, if he's watching, my paint poker broke. The one with the skull on it. It got stuck and came right off. Sad day, sad day. Can't fix my paints anymore. It lasted a month. So now what I'm doing is I'm mixing phthalo blue in with the phthalo green so we can use this color for round 2 of our fun little phthalo glazing experiment. Because I want the contrast on this to be deep, but I want it to be saturated, as if this is like a sheer material on the pumps, the pumps. See? Oh yeah, look at that. Very nice, very nice. So that should tilt it in more of a blue direction in the shadows. And I still want to go a little bit deeper. So probably, I mean, I don't want to do pure. What else do I have here? Some purple? Ah, wait a minute. I wonder if I can mix purple and the phthalo green. Yes, I can. Okay. Question answered. Now, I do have a clear purple as well. Let me... Hold on. Hold on. We're gonna make it cool. Man, I love these clear colors. If you haven't tried them out, you definitely should. You're missing out. They're such a versatile paint line. I'm gonna be adding them soon. What I'm working on right now is a set of 30 paints that I'll be using pretty much all the time. And that way it'll be easier for you guys because you'll have an actual list of all the colors that I'm using. But I've been working on that to get that squared away. That will be ready for you probably at the beginning of next year, because that's when I'll be switching over to using just 30 colors at a time. Even though I know you guys will be upset, I won't be doing the famous sample color barrage that I have been doing recently. Oops, see, I got too much of that. Luckily, with clear paints, you just push them out of the way. Like so. And there we go, it's gone. But yeah, so I know some people have requested that I use a more consistent palette, or like literally have a list for them somewhere. And it will be easier than ever to know exactly what colors I'm using at all times, so. Hopefully that's cool news for somebody out there, because I know that some people have requested it. Paint cast in the car. Yeah, I liked Dave's episode. I thought it was really good. Dave, of course, having much more hobby experience than me because he's old as the hills. No, I'm kidding. But he's definitely like, I mean, he's not a hobby veteran. He's an industry veteran. But really, really great guy. Alright, so I'm happy now with where all of our phthalo blues and purples are currently residing. We're gonna build our way back up. It's gonna be super easy. Super duper easy. Should use a different brush though. I realize I'm like just south of my focal point. There we go. contrast level is so interesting. But it's what I was trying to do, so I guess mission accomplished. So now it'll just be a question of how to bring it up further, but I think I know how we'll do that. It shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, now this arm's gonna be easier on the right arm. On the left-hand side, but the right arm's probably gonna be the easiest one to work with. Let me, hold on. Yoink, can't see what I'm looking at. There we go. No hat rule. I know. That green looks awesome, though. I'm very, very pleased with that decision. So this side is shaded pretty heavily. I think we need to do an in-between step. Kind of like this. I guess this will be a pushing area. So I'm going to push the paint. There we go. I was pushing the paint at a 45-degree angle because it's going to allow me to have better control over where that highlight dries. And boy, does that look good. Wow. Very pleased. And then keeping in line with sort of this sheer idea, I am going for a off-hue highlight on the bottom edge. Sorry, guys. Jesus, what is even going on with this thing? Hold on. It's driving me nuts. Alright. So I'm going for a different colored highlight to box in the shadow. You can barely tell on camera, but it's there. The reason I'm doing that is because that's just what sheer fabrics do. That's all. That's the only reason behind it. Alright, now we're gonna go brighter. Skin tone. That's better than white. I should have thought about that a second ago. Okay, cool. Alright, so now we're just going to do some fine highlighting. I literally can't see my screen, so that's terrible, but alright, so nope, nothing this weekend, Brian. Alright, so I'm happy with that. I think those colors are popping really well. Plus they're gonna work well with her eyeshadow. I feel like this inner portion here needs to feel like this should be this color. Hey Shane, how's it going? Definitely pleased. Let me get, so we need this out. Whoops. Whoops. All right. So you can see what I was doing. I'm going back in and retouching those shadows so that they look really awesome. I'm using a purple to do that, by the way, like a really, really deep purple. We're gonna have to redo the front of her arm there. It's fine. All right, pleased. Okay. So let's fix the top of the sleeve. Only a touch of overzealous overspray, but only a touch. Nothing unrepairable. Irreparable? Irreparable? One of those. See, it's like it never happened. Walla walla walla. So, but yeah, so if you're ever wondering, right, how, you know, some artists do this, some don't. I definitely do, depending on the vibe I'm looking for. So for something like this, where I'm creating these very sort of super saturated highlights and then dulled down shadow areas, I'll do a Natarol application of like a deep grayed out purple or something similar, and it helps me achieve and maintain that result. Natarol, of course, just means from below. It is literally the word that means the opposite of zenithal. So the more you know, the more you know. So now I kind of want to play around with the hair a little bit. I feel like it'll be a nice little break away from everything else we were messing with on the mini so far. This should be a relatively quick process. Of course, I say that as we proceed to work on it for the next 8 hours. Just kidding. But all right. So what I'm gonna do first is just color block in where I think sort of the light is should be going, is going, whatever, on her hair. Obviously, I did work on it before, but that's just sort of to give me an idea of the shape of it. May need to wait here a second for this to dry. I want that final tone in the hair to be this sort of golden ochre. Now I'm tapering it out with the other two colors I used. And that will be all she wrote for the base color on the hair. And then of course we gotta figure out a good color to wash it all down. I'm assuming we'll use a purple, since we're already headed in a gold direction. That should be the easiest thing for us to do. So I'm assuming that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, I'm happy with that tone. I think it's gonna work out well. Okay. So the first message we've gotten on the podcast page, which is interesting. Alright, so I'm going to add more of this color. I feel like that didn't really do what I was wanting it to, so there we go. Because I really want it to be saturated right on the top like that, as just a golden highlight. So now we got to figure out our purple to wash it down with. I think we have it out already. Oh, actually, let's use a little bit of this. No, that won't work. I was going to say Drow Nipple Pink, but that just isn't dark enough. So I think we'll use Styx Purple. We'll mix it with a little bit of this off-brand sample color as well. Off-brand sample. Can't go wrong. Still test it out on the back. I mean, I'm sure it'll be just fine. Yep, of course. Has just enough of the purple hue in there to give it some color, to tie it into the rest of the palette, and then of course it will show through and contrast against the reds and yellows in the other parts of the hair. So using color and contrast to our advantage to make our lives easier is always a smart decision to make. Boom, easy peasy. So we'll just wait for that as well. Go ahead and wash down the necklace that's there, since we have this here. Doing some cheat work here on the feathers. Just a little cheating. Should be able to highlight these directly without any other work, and they should look fine. Oops, sorry, no Hat Club. But they should have tonal variance, which is what you want. Boom. Yeah, that'll be great, actually, for a highlight. Alright, so the hair, as you can tell, got washed down perfectly, which will allow us to highlight it back up. But I'm just trying to see how long I've been going today. 1 hour exactly. I felt it in my bones. So I'll just go ahead and end it early for today. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed hanging out as I was working on this miniature. This miniature releases on the 14th, and it's also a part of, obviously, the Reaper Bones 5 Kickstarter. She is part of the female NPC set that I believe was added for free to the core set. So, but everybody else will be able to purchase her in metal if you're so interested on the 14th from Reaper directly, or obviously your local game store as they become in stock, you know, out there in the wild world of miniatures. So, but I think that will be it for today. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I know I'm going to be working like crazy all weekend, and that's pretty much it. Definitely go check out the newest episode of the Paint Cast, the painting podcast that I've been working on. This week we had Dave Taylor from Dave Taylor's Miniatures. Next week we're going to have Dave Cecil from Lord Dave's Miniatures. If you were joining late too, I know I did mention I was recording with Gregory Zaniga as well earlier today, but unfortunately Discord took a big old dump and just wouldn't connect. Like, it kept disconnecting us and all kinds of good stuff like that. So I said, you know what, we're just going to have to reschedule. So that's what we're gonna do. But right now I'm just trying to push this paint out of here that had flooded. Relatively easy fix. What you do is you just get a bunch more water in the area, and then you grab a couple dry brushes and boom, it'll come right out. Like it just did. And then obviously it'll seep back in. And then you wait a second, seep back in, and you can keep it clean. I should do a whole class on how to clean up paint mistakes while they're still wet. I feel like some people are like, uh-oh, okay, I can't touch it anymore, but really, you should go in immediately to fix it. But I'm really happy with our progress here today. I think the sleeves look dope. I really think that we did also bring the front of the dress around pretty close as well. And yeah, so, but that'll be it. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will catch you later.